Hello guys, you're welcome again to another After Effects tutorials, and today I want to show you how you can create an amazing motion logo animation in Adobe After Effects with a lot of motion elements like this one. So support me on this one. Do not forget to like the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, then turn on the notification. Come back, let's get started. Now in Adobe After Effects, I'm going to create a new composition. Feel free to use your own setting. The entire animation is just 6 seconds, but I'm going to leave the composition at 10 seconds. Name your composition and then hit OK. Now right click on your timeline, go to new and then create a new shape layer. Let's fit this to the preview window. Now expand the shape layer right here. Go to add and add a rectangle, and then go to add and then add a fill. Go to scale property right here on the transform. Make sure you check this and then turn this to 1920 by 1080. That should be the size of your composition. What we're going to do now is to make sure we keep everything organized by renaming this to BG. Change the fill color. Ctrl D on your keyboard to duplicate this. Change the fill color of this to somewhat blue. Now we're going to go into the transform properties right here and change this to 300 by 300. On the rotation, we're going to rotate this to 45. Duplicate the first shape layer again. Once you duplicate that, expand these properties and expand the content, then delete this rectangle. Then you go to add and add an ellipse. Make sure the ellipse part right here is directly on top of the fill property so that you can get your color. So expand the transformation. And make this 600 by 600. Expand the fill and then change the color to white. Duplicate the ellipse and then move it to the top of this layer. Then expand the properties and then go to the fill and change the color to a dark blue. Expand the transform and change the size to 100. So we're still gonna create another one. So duplicate this again, expand the properties and then change the size to 50. Change the fill color to white. Let's move the position to this point. Let's put it right here. Increase the scale of this a bit to 150. Let's start animating the entire thing. Move your time indicator to 2 seconds forward in time, and then you're going to select these middle layers except the top one. Hit S on your keyboard to reveal the scale property and set a scale for this. Then you're going to go back to 0 and then increase the scale until you have it covering everything right here. The first cycle, we're going to make that cover the entire place, and we're going to select the second one right here. Set a scale for this and also scale up the top blue layer. Select the box layer right here. I'm going to rename this so that I can easily see that. Hold down shift and then hit R to reveal the rotation. We're going to set a keyframe for the rotation. Then we're going to come back to 0 and set this rotation to -180. You can increase this number if you want the rotation to be very obvious. So select all your keyframes and then easy ease. Then edit the speed graph like this for all of them. If you preview now, this is what you have. Now we're gonna offset this time and set the timing. So the top blue one should come first. So we're gonna select this last keyframe and move it to 1 second right here. So I'm gonna leave this rotation at 2 seconds for the box layer and then move the scale to somewhere here. So now I'm gonna create a second keyframe for this. I will come to 3 seconds forward in time. I will select the box layer and rotate it forward like this. Then I will copy the scale right here. I'll first of all copy the scale right here, Ctrl C and then Ctrl V. I will move it to this point where I have this keyframe. Then I will copy this first keyframe right here, Ctrl C, Ctrl V to paste it here. That will bring it up. So I'm gonna copy this last keyframe also right here, Ctrl C, Ctrl V, then move it right down here. Then I'm gonna set the scale value for this to 0. Then I'll go down right here, still copy and do the same thing to this one. That is gonna give you this. Beautiful. I'm gonna select white circle right here and hit P on my keyboard to reveal the position property and set a keyframe at that point. So I'm gonna come to this point to 1 second and then move it here, and I'm gonna go to 0 and then move it somewhere here. So I'll just edit this cycle. I edit the spline to give me a kind of cycle. Come to 3 seconds forward in time. Then I'm gonna align this cycle, this white little cycle, to the center at this point. Then I will hit S while holding down Shift to reveal the scale property. I will set a keyframe for the scale. Then I will move it to this point and then set the scale at 3 seconds to 0. So I'm gonna ease all the keyframes. If you preview now, this is what you have. After smoothing up the keyframes, I also decided to lighten the background because it was too dark. Beautiful. So now it is time to create all other motion elements like you saw in the beginning of the video. So first of all, I'm gonna create a random shape right here. I'm gonna pick the pen tool and make sure no layer is selected. Then set the fill to none and set a stroke color. Then start drawing at the center. I will start from the center right here and just draw a random shape like this. I'm just gonna adjust this all of these parts to get a smoother part. After adjusting everything, I then use trim part animation to animate the part. You can see that going around with this. So if you want to know how to animate a trim part if you are just a beginner, I have a tutorial on my channel where I explain in detail on how to use the trim part option to animate a stroke layer. Check the video on the card above. Now it is time to add our logo. Select your logo and then add it to the timeline. We're gonna scale this to whatever you like. So hit S on your keyboard to scale this down. I created this Adobe logo inside Adobe Illustrator. So I'm gonna just simply leave it like this. Then I'll pre-compose this layer. Make sure you move all attributes to the new composition and then call this logo holder. So what I'm gonna do right here is to come to this point where the cycle disappears and then move this right here. So I'll hit S on my keyboard to set a keyframe for the scale and then move back to this point and set the keyframe value to 0. I will ease the keyframes. This, if you preview now, this is what we have. So I'm just gonna simply set the timing. The logo is coming a bit too quickly, so I'm gonna offset it backward until it comes. Yes, beautiful. Yes, I'm gonna offset it a little bit more. Beautiful. It is now time to add all those motion elements you saw on your screen. On Wednesday, I posted a video explaining how to design motion elements inside Adobe After Effects. You can go and watch that video and then repeat the same process right here. After adding all the motion elements, this is what I have. Feel free to add as much motion element as you want. It is pretty simple. You can go and watch that tutorial to catch up. You can find the tutorial on the card above. And that is how you can create a motion logo animation in Adobe After Effects in a simple step like this. If you learned something new on this video, please hit the like button. That will enable the algorithm to suggest this to more people. If you have any question, please feel free to ask me in the comment section and I'll reply to all questions as quick as I can. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can support me in any way. You can give me super thanks, subscribe to my membership, whatever way you want to support me with. Even if you share the video, that is also a huge support and it is highly appreciated. If you like the video, leaving a comment is all a support. So in whatever way you are able to support me, I highly appreciate you. So until I see you again on the next one, my name is SSB Otaru from MotionDigit Studios.